Hey guys, so we have a weekend this weekend that may be really shedding some light on some things, bringing some clarity to some things that maybe have been lacking that, and illuminating some things for us, maybe in one way or another. Very, very powerful, transformative, emotional, and also psychic mental energy that we have going on this weekend. To start our weekend though, we may be perceiving a little bit of internalized resistance, some frustration, maybe sort of feeling like we've hit a wall in terms of our progress in one way or another, but not to fear, this energy will pass. By the time we get to Saturday, we should be receiving some valuable insight into something that is kind of like opening our mind, restoring our faith, and again, creating some type of positive, like transformative mental shift that is going on within us, empowering us perhaps in one type of way or another. Moving into Sunday, we have some more very powerful mental energy. Energy is strongly psychic this weekend as well. There is a lot of divine assistance and spiritual connection, very highly attuned spiritual energy going on, playing out this weekend. So let's get into the chart for the charts, plural, for the weekend, you guys. Look at the breakdown of Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and what aspects, transits we have going on, and what that might mean for us in terms of our experiences as we move through the weekend. Welcome back to my channel, everyone. Today is Friday, July 15th, 2022. My name is Aubrey, and this is your astrological outlook of the weekend. In this video, we are going to be talking about the astrology we have going on for Friday, for Saturday, and for Sunday. I'm going to try to put those timestamps in the description box below if you want to jump from day to day, or, you know, look at it like that so you don't have to watch the whole video. Go search it. I'm going to try to hook you up with you guys with those timestamps as well. But let's start with the astrology that we have playing out for Friday. And as I mentioned in my intro, Friday this weekend is the day where we may feel a little bit of just sort of like more pessimistic, like maybe a little bit more depressed, more withdrawn, more like emotionally isolated, maybe sort of like dwelling on the glass half empty a little bit, maybe some internalized frustrations or irritations, feeling like limited or repressed or held back in some type of way. Maybe like we can't speak our feelings, maybe like we can't relate to others, and maybe like we are just in a very deep and intense period of processing. That is necessary at this point in time in order so that we can move forward. But again, like we may just feel like we're sort of hitting a wall in some type of way on Friday in terms of the progress that we are trying to make at this point in time, in terms of both releasing what is no longer serving us, sort of moving away from things and going in a new direction, and also moving forward in this new direction towards pursuing, you know, maybe cultivating some of our talents or our gifts, or just sort of redefining ourselves or our lives in one way or another. We may feel sort of like just held back a little bit in our ability to do that today, or our desire to do that today, or our capability to do that one way or another. And this is because on Friday, to start our weekend, we have the moon in Aquarius. And, you know, Aquarius, of course, is the sign ruling the age of Aquarius, the direction that we're going, this radical realignment that is underway right now that is helping to shift our vibration in a way that aligns us with our authentic potential and helps us to move forward towards creating a life for ourselves that allows us to express that and receive the things that like are authentically fulfilling to us and help us really feel a sense of purpose and all of that good type of age of Aquarius incoming stuff. But with the moon in Aquarius, it's in the late degrees of Aquarius today, so the moon will be forming a conjunction to Saturn, and simultaneously also a square to both the north and the south nodes of the moon, and Uranus, ruler of Aquarius, in a conjunction to the north node right now as well. So we could get, I mean, there could be some like upsets or some shocks or some surprises that are happening today that sort of throw us off course, or, you know, limit us or restrict us or hold us back in some type of way, maybe make us feel like we can't do it, or like shake our faith or confidence in ourselves for one reason or another. But honestly, like there is a need to really be processing some deep emotions and the energy that we have going on right now as well. So if we are sort of feeling held back or isolated or alone or misunderstood or just like repressed in our ability to move forward in any type of a way today, it's probably because we really need to turn inwards and maybe do some like deep internalized processing of maybe the things that have gone on over the past couple days. This was sort of a wild full moon that we just had. And we are in a period right now which is increasing in intensity, moving towards the 31st of July, the 1st of August, when we have this really extreme, powerful activation taking place between Mars, Uranus, and the North Node coming together in the sign of Taurus. Like, we are building towards this energy now, and this energy is like a kind of a big deal. It's going to be creating some really dynamic shifts and changes that sort of radically realign things along an entirely different trajectory, perhaps. And these planets are all being activated today by the moon and also by Saturn in the square in Aquarius. So today could be a day, and the north and the south nodes of the moon, this is destiny and karma, and Saturn also rules karma. So there could definitely be some karmic lessons or some karmic release or some karmic issues that are rising to the surface today that, again, need to be processed or need to be released or need to be cleared. We also have Saturn retrograde right now. So this energy that's going on with Saturn is really like helping us to restructure our own inner world in one way or another, in a way that is helping us to lay stronger foundations to carry us forward into the age of Aquarius along this new path and the new trajectory where we are recreating ourselves in alignment with our authentic truth and our talent and our potentials and our gifts and the resources we hold within us and our ability to tap those and to, create something with them to help stabilize our physical world around us. The sign of Taurus, all of these Taurus themes and the North Node in Taurus, our collective lesson plan at this point in time as well. And there could be some major financial upsets or material based, like resource based issues going on. Also relationship issues, issues having to do with like partnerships or financial agreements, financial arrangements, food and stuff like that as well could be wrapped up in this somehow. Of course, finances, like I said, economies, markets, supplies, supply chains. Like there could be some very big disruptions going on right now in terms of those things on a more macrocosm level as well. But in our personal lives, with the moon coming into a conjunction with Saturn, this just does generally create more of like a downtrodden emotional feeling, loneliness, isolation. It can also bring up domestic issues, domestic problems, which there may be a highlight on right now as well, with the Sun and Mercury coming into a conjunction in the sign of Cancer, ruling the home and the family, also in an opposition to Pluto, ruling any type of less than positive ongoings that have been going on behind closed doors or under the surface of things, especially in terms of power and control dynamics within families. Like this type of stuff could definitely be coming up today as well. Generally pessimistic, and like I said, maybe just like not feeling good about ourselves, or not feeling like we are successful, or not feeling like we are making the progress that maybe we had hoped to make by this point in time, and that maybe just like bringing us down or weighing heavy on our heart or on our soul a little bit, sort of like taking the wind out of our sails perhaps at like in this energy, just because of the way that these alignments are playing out. And again, with the square going on between the north and the south nodes, this could definitely be like in regards to our ability to move forward and to move away from the past. Like we may feel like we're being like pulled back into past scenarios, or like sucked back into situations that we thought that we were, done with and moving forward with, and that may be just like bringing us down or making us feel really just burdened in one way or another. This also could bring up issues with authority or rules limiting our progress as well, and just frustrations or things interfering with the course that we like want and desire for things to take right now at this point in time as well. But it is a good day for being more just like introverted and self-aware and self-analytical, really like, again, like getting into our emotions, processing our feelings, really like rethinking and restructuring perhaps like the way that we want our path to go going forward, maybe the goals that we have or the blueprints that we are like creating for ourselves in our mind's eye and stuff like that. Like this is a good day for sort of restructuring or rethinking with Saturn retrograde, or reorganizing our thoughts and our feelings about stuff in one way or another. And again, like processing some maybe like deep changes that are going on within us, and therefore that are changing maybe what we desire and want moving forward as well. So this is really sort of what we're looking at in the energy on Friday. We also have Venus in a square to Neptune. This was actually exact yesterday, but I missed the video for yesterday. So let's talk about a couple of these Venus square Neptune themes, as they also may have been prominent this week. And as this week sort of wanes out, when we have Venus and Gemini squaring Neptune and Pisces, we really want to be careful in love and money generally. There can be some unrealistic expectations in dealing with loved ones or finances, expecting sort of people and situations to live up to maybe like impossibly high standards or like ideals or fantasies about stuff that can lead to some disappointment that we just don't really need at this point in time. This is very good energy though for like daydreaming or artistic inspiration, but again, it's like we're more inclined towards the fantasy side of things today and less, wanting to be immersed in like the actual facts and the actual reality. It's like fantasy over reality is definitely winning in terms of like our desires, kind of, when we have Venus ruling our wants and desires in this alignment, disappointed with real humans. It's almost like our fantasies are sort of better than actually having to deal with the real thing. In this energy can bring some type of disappointments along the lines of love and money. But it's also breaking down relationships that are not built in reality or not built on any type of like steady or solid realistic foundation, dissolving in this energy. So relationships that are falling away right now, even especially with all this Uranus going on as well, I'm telling you, like, if there's a breakup that you're going through right now, surrender, to faith as much as you can, and, trust in the process and that it's happening for your highest and your best, because in this energy, relationships that are falling away are because they were never like truly what we thought they were. Like they weren't based in a solid reality. And it's definitely for the best, especially again with Uranus in Taurus also ruling relationships and conjuncting the North Node at this point in time. They're also like things are just generally not as they appear when we have Venus forming a square to Neptune, and there's just this generalized desire not to deal with reality. So this could be coming, in a multitude of ways, or you could have been feeling this like kind of just desire to like escape and not have to deal with anything that's not sort of like the more pleasant things or like what we like are wanting and like attracted to in this energy. We also could sort of be in some kind of an illusion or delusion in regards to the connections that we are making now, or to the conversations that we are having, or the meetings that we are having, or the transactions that we are making, and they may not just be what we think they are. A lot of times with we have Venus and square to Neptune, we're sort of seeing things through rose-colored glasses, or like in more of like a pie in the sky, like pipe dream type of vision that is more of, again, like an illusion than an actual reality. But it is a really great day and energy for envisioning the ideal future, the ideal relationships, and the ideal states of abundance that we would like to experience in our lives, with the faith that universe is moving things for us at this point in time in order to reflect, again, like what will bring us the sense of true fulfillment as a result of these shifts and changes that are going on within us. It's like we are going through these eternal internalized shifts and changes. We are getting back to basics in terms of, who we are and what it really is that we truly authentically desire, what we have within us and what we want to create. And as a result of that, life and universe and everything around us is shifting as well in order to help us magnetize the people, the relationships, the opportunities, the situations that will support that process and bring us a sense of fulfillment and purpose as we are going through this process. Because really, like, that is activating our destiny, that is doing what we came here to do, and universe is always going to support that, and that is going to also fill us with these more positive feelings that will help attract more and more of these positive experiences and stuff, and just become like this self-perpetuating cycle of like goodness that this year and this new paradigm are trying to break us forth into, in maybe a little bit of a chaotic and tumultuous way, but hey, it's the direction that we're going, and we've got 2,000 something years to get there. So first steps. Okay, what else? Focus on love and beauty, inspiration, and creation. That's another thing that I wrote when we have Venus in the square to Neptune in this energy. Last thing I want to say for Friday, we have Mercury moving into the conjunction with the sun. Mercury is combust right now. When Mercury is combust in ancient astrology, they say that we are sort of lacking a vital piece of information in one way or another. But when Mercury comes CAZIMI, which means into exact alignment with the sun, they say this is when we get a window into like the clarity that we've been lacking through Mercury's process of being combust. But Mercury in a conjunction to the sun, or moving to conjunction to the sun, this is also very, very busy energy. So it's likely to be a very, very busy weekend. Things going on. And because this is happening in the sign of Cancer, there's likely to be a lot of things going on in the home, maybe a lot of projects going on in the home, or just like things to do with family or the mother, family, home, hometown, like that type of stuff. Going on when we have Mercury and the sun coming into a conjunction in the sign of Cancer. The emphasis very busy, but it's again probably more likely to do with home, family, stuff like that. Another thing that I wanted to mention, we had Saturn retrograde back yesterday, which another thing I missed in my report from the report from yesterday, to 24 degrees of Aquarius. And Saturn has been stationary for quite a long time and has been just like creeping backwards. So Saturn is like really officially moving backwards right now too. And this is restructuring things in our physical world, especially along the lines of power and control dynamics and long established orders of like government, leadership, authority, and power and control generally. And we've got some big news, you guys, coming along those lines this weekend as well. So let's move on and start talking about that. Let's move on and start talking about Saturday, July 16th. On Saturday, this is the day, we've got a couple things going on. First of all, we have the sun and Mercury coming into an exact conjunction at 3:40 p.m. Eastern time. So this is the CAZIMI. This is when they will be exact to the minute conjunction, 3:40 p.m. Eastern time. So wherever that is, wherever in the world you are, this is a really good time, you guys, to gain or glean or come into contact with or to hear some very enlightening information, some perhaps profound information. And it's also likely to be some very powerful information, just a very powerful or transformative insight that we're gaining or that is coming through, because this is also happening in an opposition to Pluto. It is the conjunction of Mercury and the sun is happening at 25 degrees of Cancer. That Sabian symbol, you guys, is a leader of men wrapped in an invisible cloak of power. And it is happening in an opposition to Pluto, 3-degree orb opposition to Pluto. Pluto is currently at 28 degrees of Cancer. So this is within a 3-degree orb opposition. Like, this is a real deal opposition. Mercury and the sun coming to CAZIMI opposite Pluto at 25 Cancer, a leader of men wrapped in an invisible cloak of power. This, you guys, I have a feeling is going to bring some major revelations, powerful moment of truth that may be coming through. And this may be in regards, again, to long-standing established orders of power and control dynamics, government, authority figures, bosses, leadership, the people in charge generally, some type of something that is coming out, that is being exposed, that is having a really profound and transformative effect on the minds of people, because we're talking about Mercury ruling the mind, the sun ruling, shining the light, and Pluto ruling the underworld into the darkness. And the underworld of what? The underworld of Capricorn, where Pluto is. Long established orders of power and control. The rulership classes, this is what we're dealing with. And at that Sabian symbol degree as well, a leader wrapped in an invisible cloak of power. So this is pretty significant, you guys. Leadership, government, authority, and power, all very, very highlighted for some type of exposure with this energy. And it's these things, leadership, government, authority, power, versus in opposition to the sun and Mercury in the sign of Cancer. The needs, the voice, the thoughts of the people. Cancer is ruled by the moon. The moon rules the collective it rules the people. It rules the collective of humanity. And we're talking about, Cancer as well. This is the needs for safety and security and nourishment and care and the family and the home and all of that, the womb, you know what I mean? Opposite Pluto and Capricorn, Mercury and the sun coming together. Something about these long-standing orders of power up against the needs of the people that is creating some type of revolution, perhaps also in this energy. The people's voice will be heard and topple establishments. That's sort of the vibe that is coming through. Information about corruption and government, leadership, authority. And Also, we have Venus at 29 degrees of Gemini on Saturday. And remember, Venus actually is the ruler of where Uranus and the North Node are right now. And that is a major activation right now that is going on. That is sort of doing the same type of thing as well, really rearranging things in probably some radical ways. And Venus is ruling that because of the placement in Taurus, and her position today, 29 Gemini, the first mockingbird of spring sings from the treetops. So we're talking about, you guys, an exact Mercury Sun CAZIMI at the position a leader of men wrapped in an invisible cloak of power in opposition to Pluto, the planet ruling power and power in all of its forms. And we're talking about Venus singing from the treetops. It's being sung from the treetops. Like this information, whatever this clarity is, whatever is exposed, whatever is illuminated, whatever comes out, whatever headlines, whatever information, whatever like a little birdie told you, whatever you overhear, it's like traveling a long way, and a lot of people are gaining awareness of it, and it's rooting out or helping us to discover what has been controlling or overpowering us, which as an inherent side effect is re-empowering the collective of humanity, the collective of the people through this process. So there's some type of enlightenment going on, light of conscious awareness shining into the darkness in a pretty big way that is happening in the energy and in the chart as it is playing out on Saturday with this Mercury CAZIMI. Now, also, aside from just this powerful activation in and of itself, it's also forming a trine to Neptune in Pisces. Now, if this was a square to Neptune in Pisces, or, you know, anything, you know, besides a trine, like an opposition or a square or something like that, I would feel a little bit differently about this aspect. But because we're dealing with a trine to the Sun and Mercury in their opposition to Pluto from the sign of Pisces with Neptune, because Neptune it can make things foggy, it can kind of cloud our mind, like it can create a hard time deciphering fantasy from reality. But with the trine, this is like a massive spiritual infusion. This is like spiritual wisdom, spiritual guidance, and ability to tap into that, like very, very, very strong heightened intuition. We're talking about the trine from both the Sun and Mercury together to the sign of Neptune. Strong spiritual and intuitive knowing that is like guiding us, and we are having a greater than normal conscious awareness of as we're navigating this energy. God is speaking through this particular transit, and I feel like that, you know, Neptune and Pisces, this is a very, very strong spiritual energy. This rules like the other worlds, like the spiritual planes, forming the trine almost exact, only 1 degree off, to Mercury and the Sun CAZIMI together while they're in opposition to Pluto. This is like a very, very, the voice of God, you know, Mercury the messenger, that with the Sun, the light, in the trine to Neptune, that is putting this like highly tuned spiritual energy, spiritual infusion, spiritual guidance, intuitive connection that is really helping us to deal with, or to understand, or to just interact with whatever information is coming out. God is speaking through this, highly spiritually attuned, highly creative and divine inspiration. And this is like a day also for like just naturally channeling like this higher spiritual knowledge. Very, very good day for meditating. Very, very good day for journaling. Very, very good day for any type of creative activity. Because there could just be some really strong like divine inspiration that is coming through. And again, this is also like a profoundly, profoundly psychic energy, like very strong psychic impressions, very strong intuitive hunches, very, very strong ability as well because of the trine to Neptune to decipher like truth from illusion. We're talking about Mercury in opposition to Pluto. This is about like digging for truth, getting to the bottom of stuff in a lot of cases, like really like seeking out the root issues of things. And then with the Sun there as well. And then in the trine to Neptune from like a place that is being spiritually guided. It's just a really powerful psychic energy for sort of seeing through illusions and gaining this awareness that is transforming our mind in some type of way. Pluto ruling transformation in the opposition to the Sun and the opposition to Mercury. Okay, so that's basically what I have to say about the energy for Saturday. Now moving on to Sunday, this energy is still present, but I feel like it's being a bit distorted and maybe like a bit manipulated on Sunday. It's like whatever came out, whatever we found out, whatever happened, whatever was shown to us with the Mercury CAZIMI on Sunday or on Saturday, it's like maybe there's some damage control that is now going on Sunday, but it's sort of like, I don't know how productive it will be, because we still have this very, very strong psychic and intuitive guidance energy that is available on Sunday. And that's because on Sunday, we have the sun moving into the exact trine to Neptune. And we also have Mercury moving into the exact opposition to Pluto. See, for Mercury and the sun CAZIMI on Saturday, this is in the opposition to Pluto and it is in the trine to Neptune, but these degrees are not exact. Neptune right now is at 26 Pisces. The CAZIMI will be at 25 Cancer. So we have a 1 degree orb between Neptune and Mercury and the sun, which is very, very tight, very, very activated, but it's not exact. And then Pluto's at 28 Capricorn. This activation is at 25 Cancer. So there's a 3 degree orb opposition, but Mercury is moving very fast right now. And the sun moves, of course, 1 degree a day. So while we have this Mercury CAZIMI going on that is opposite Pluto, within the 3 degree orb and is bringing up this awareness into some type of power or control issue and things that have been operating perhaps like under the surface or that we've been lacking in awareness about, and also this very strong psychic and intuitive energy that is like maybe opening our eyes to something as well, or giving us some faith to be able to make a difficult choice or something, maybe in the face of what we're finding out. On Sunday, that energy, although the sun and Mercury are no longer exact, those specific connections are. So Mercury and the sun are now a couple degrees apart. And so remember when I said Mercury and the sun are not in exact alignment, this is Mercury combust, Mercury burn in the rays of the sun. And we, again, are sort of like missing maybe a piece of the puzzle. Maybe we received this great moment of clarity, but it's only momentary. You know what I mean? When we have that CAZIMI, that short period of time that marks the exact activation. After that, Mercury moves on and we have, again, maybe a little bit of lack of clarity. Maybe we are still like feeling like we aren't totally seeing the entire picture again, despite the clarity that we may have gained the previous day. So that's why I'm saying, and then, okay, let's talk about these aspects. Mercury in the exact opposition to Pluto and the sun in the exact trine to Neptune. First of all, the sun in an exact trine to Neptune. This brings an expanded desire to really understand the deeper and more spiritual levels that there are to our reality, both on an emotional and an intellectual level. And Mercury, like I said, in opposition to Pluto, this works a couple of ways, but one of the octaves of this energy is like really wanting to get to the bottom of any problems, like really wanting to get to the bottom of things. So on one hand, we may have gained this moment of clarity in the energy that we had on Saturday, and then on Sunday, we are sort of being like inspired to sort of like follow that trail and like dig for even more truth, like uncover even more along those lines. Or on the other octave of things, Mercury in opposition to Pluto, this does also rule like propaganda and indoctrination and everything along those lines as well. Manipulation, deception, fantasy faking, like everything along those lines. So on the other hand, it could be sort of a situation where we gained this moment of clarity, but those powers that be maybe that we found something out about sort of making a real strong effort to kind of like manipulate us out of that understanding, or to gaslight us into thinking that it didn't actually happen, or to try to just run some type of like indoctrination or manipulation or propaganda campaign or something to, again, like sort of like try to make us believe that what we found out or what we saw isn't really what we found out and what we saw, and that we were, wrong about it the whole time, and we don't really understand things the way that we did, which could, again, be putting us in this state of feeling like we're lacking maybe some clarity about something, again, with the sun being combust following the CAZIMI. So we want to know the truth, and we want to find the answers, and we want to understand and solve the problem, but we may really be sort of questioning our own like discernment, but we shouldn't be, because we do have the sun in the exact trine to Neptune. So we need to be following our intuitive, like our inner compass. Like we need to be following our like hunches and like the psychic impressions, and just like paying very close attention to our feelings and what we're being like called to understand, or what feels and resonates in this energy. This is a very, very powerful, powerful day that we have playing out on Sunday, with the sun in the exact trine to Neptune and Mercury in the exact opposition to Pluto simultaneously, again, from the sign of Cancer. But with Mercury in an opposition to Pluto, we do want to be careful with getting caught in maybe some more obsessive or compulsive thoughts or ideas today, and also watch out for any type of attempt to sort of regain or manipulate our mental construct in one way or another, like to gaslight our perception of what we thought we found out, or to sort of make us feel like what we saw isn't real, and like sort of question the state of our reality. And we also don't want to allow ourselves to be like talked into something that just doesn't resonate or doesn't feel right with us at this period of time. But very powerful day for really finding out the truth about things if we are not allowing ourselves to be sort of just guided along a certain narrative or a certain path by others. Like, we want to find out the truth sort of for ourselves, and not based on any type of like he said, she said, or somebody coming in and sort of really wanting to like just talk us into believing something in one way or another. Something we want to watch out for. But again, very, very strong psychic energy, speaking truth to power this whole weekend, Saturday and Sunday, with this Mercury opposite, this Mercury CAZIMI opposite the sun, like speaking truth to, or opposite Pluto, speaking truth to power. This is a major dynamic of what we can perhaps expect in some of this energy as it plays out. Let's see, is there anything else? And basically, you know, I just said we need to be careful we're not being deceived or taken advantage of through our open-hearted nature that is represented through the sun and the trine to Neptune, but we also have a strong ability to intuit, perceive falsehoods, and deception. We are likely to just sort of be like rejecting or not accepting, or just generally not being attracted to lower vibrational attempts at mental coercion at this point in time also. So that's working in our best interest, like in our benefit. And definitely though, a highlight coming through on information and communication on Sunday. We have the sun coming to 26 degrees of Cancer on Sunday. That Sabian symbol is guests are reading in the library of a luxurious home, gaining some type of insight, gaining some type of information. And we also have Mercury, the messenger planet, forming the opposition to Pluto at 28 Capricorn, a large aviary, also talking about like lots of communication, lots of information flying back and forth, a higher view, a bird's eye view perspective of something. Mercury at 28 degrees of Cancer. An Indian girl introduces her college boyfriend to the assembled tribe. I feel like this is also telling us that this information that we might be dealing with this weekend is about some type of major change that might be being ushered in, some type of new generation of something, or a new revolution of something, or just a generalized shift in the way that things have been done for a long period of time. Again, these old established orders of power and control and the set standards of things in the way that our hierarchies, our power and control hierarchies are operating up for some type of revision, some type of rectification. And this is the type of stuff, this is the type of information that might be flying around, flying through the airwaves this weekend. So that, you guys, is basically what I have to say for our 3-day weekend that we have, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Again, Friday, this is, you know, perhaps the more difficult day of the weekend, where we may feel just a little bit more not so good about ourselves, not so good about our progress, or just like something that's holding us back, or something that is frustrating us, limiting us, and that we're just sort of over. But some real insight coming through. Very, very busy day on Saturday. Should open our eyes to something, but we don't want to fall into doubting ourselves on Saturday or on Sunday, because that is something else that could come up. But overall, very, very powerful weekend for connecting with spirit, spiritual guidance, spiritual awakening, attuning, like very highly spiritually attuned energy, and psychic energy, psychic impressions, intuitive urges, intuitive hunches. Like, this is where it's at. And simultaneously, like, getting to the bottom of stuff, seeing through the root of stuff, figuring out the bottom line, the baseline, the root of the problem, and doing what it takes to sort of clear it out with this inherent faith that is also present in the energy because of the trine that we have going on to the planet Neptune all weekend as well. So let's grab a synchronicity card now. Let's just see if there's one bit of guidance or advice that God, universe, great spirit has for us to help us navigate what's going on this weekend. It should be an interesting weekend, you guys. Like, I am, you know, with this type of configuration coming out right now, and it's not just that, it's in the context also of this Uranus, Mars, North Node conjunction that we have building, very activated already. It will be very, very interesting to see what this Mercury Sun CAZIMI brings with it, especially in the opposition to Pluto in Capricorn. Okay, here's the card that wants to come out. Oh, wow. This is actually perfect for a weekend where we have the Sun in a trine to Neptune. It says dream, and that would be a very on point keyword for the energy associated with the Sun and the trine to Neptune. And shout for joy, all ye who are upright in heart, Psalms 32:11. Your biggest joy will be in the knowledge that you have overcome setbacks and disappointments. Setbacks and disappointments perhaps on Friday a little bit, but we are overcoming them on Saturday and Sunday. Be persistent, believe in your dreams, and continue going forward. God does not give us a dream without also giving us the means to attain that dream. So again, like I said, what page did I write that on? A great day for envisioning our ideal future, relationships, and abundance with faith. The universe is moving us towards that fulfillment through our own internal shift. That's basically what I feel like this is saying as well. You know, whatever we are navigating on Friday, we just really need to know that this energy will pass, not lose hope, maintain the faith, the image of our dreams and what we want to create for ourselves. And we're moving forward in that direction. The universe wants to do that for us as well. So that is the advice and guidance from God for this weekend, and it really does line up with the energy that we have coming through. So that is what I have to say, you guys. Energy from the stars, or a little message from universe, great spirit, God, and the divine. I hope you guys liked this video. I hope I was able to provide something for you that can give you just a little bit of whatever you might be needing to navigate your weekend this weekend. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. If you did like this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, share it with your friends if you think that they would be interested in like this kind of thing too. Leave me comments, you guys. I seriously, like, I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you so much for being here with me. I'm so grateful for your feedback. I'm so grateful for your comments. Thank you so much again. I have a Facebook page, a Facebook group, a website, and some other social medias. Those are in my description box below. And come back with me tomorrow. You guys, I'm sorry to say, I may or may not be able to make a video for Monday, honestly. I may be back again on Tuesday. I'm sorry I've been having to take so many like days lately. I have some things going on again this weekend, and I don't know if I'm gonna have time to get a video done. So if you guys don't get a video for Monday, I will be back on Tuesday with sort of a recap of Monday and the energy for Tuesday, and I don't know. I may be able to do the video for Monday. I don't know. We'll see. But if you don't see me on Monday, no worries. I will be back on Tuesday with our video for Tuesday, a recap of Monday, and a little bit of what's coming up for the week. So I will see you then. Have a beautiful weekend, you guys. And until next time, bye.